Hey guys, this is Travis Single with Shell Shock MMA. We're here at the Easton Training Center right here in Denver, Colorado, and I'm joined here by a man that's going to be fighting this Friday night at Fight to Win's promotion for Hooligans card. And it's none other than Peter Straub. How you doing, sir?
Good, how are you?
Good, good. Now this will be your, actually your, fourth fight in your career. And obviously it's an amateur, it's a welterweight division. Tell us a little bit about your opponent and what you know about him.
I don't know a whole lot about him. I know his name's Josh Watson. He fights out of Pariah MMA down in Colorado Springs. I know he just won his first fight, went the distance, won by decision. So, I expect him to be tough. I expect him to be there the whole time. I don't know a lot more about him as far as skill set or anything like that goes. So.
You know if he's more of like a ground guy standing up or a little mixture? Or?
I don't think that he has a belt in jiu-jitsu, so I would assume that he's probably more stand-up based, but I can't say.
Can't really tell. Okay. Now, obviously, your last fight was unfortunately your first loss, but it was a decision loss to one of the top guys in the division, Justin Moss. So
yeah.
Tell us a little bit about that fight.
It was a good fight, but it was definitely a tough experience as far as the result. As far as the actual fight goes, I'm very proud of my performance. I thought it was a great fight. I know the fans really enjoyed it. So, and I learned a lot about myself as far as just how I fight and what I'm able to withstand and fight back. And I'm proud that I was continuing to attack the whole time right to the last bell. And a couple more seconds, I would have had that triangle finish.
Yeah,
so
that's what it looked like.
Real deep. So, it didn't go my way, but I'm real proud of the experience and my performance in it. So.
Well, and how do you like it as far as exposure with the Paramount being your last fight and stuff and big stage like that? You kind of like that, or you kind of like the smaller?
I like fighting at the Paramount. Obviously, in the back, it's way worse than the National Western Complex. I think there was 8 of us in the same room trying to warm up, so that makes it difficult. But the National Western Complex is a great place to fight. I fought there three times, one kickboxing, twice, one kickboxing and one MMA, and then it's a good place to fight. I think it's fun.
Well, and a lot of people that know you personally and stuff, they know you with the jiu-jitsu. You do in sets tournaments, a lot of tournaments as a rep and stuff, since you've known the game for so long. Yeah. Tell us a little bit about your progression with just the jiu-jitsu part and just kind of how you got into transition from jiu-jitsu to the MMA game.
Well, actually, my first MMA fight was back in 2008, and it was with very little training. I think I maybe trained like 6 months for it, very informally, just kind of got into it by chance, but I really enjoyed it. And at the time I was working up in Boulder, and Elliot Marshall worked there, and he just got back from Ultimate Fighter. So he wasn't working at the bar anymore, but he was promoting Ultimate Fighter there. And I told him about my fight, and he said, yeah, that's cool, man, come in, if you want to keep training. But he had some rules. He said that I had to win some high-level tournaments for grappling, and I had to be a purple belt. So I went out to San Jose last year and won the American All-Stars tournament as a purple belt. And then I also had to win a kickboxing fight, which I did in September, and then I kind of fulfilled all of Elliot's checklists, and so I was able to start fighting MMA. So then I fought for the first time since 4 years of training later, from 2008 to 2012 in November, the Monsters Brawl, and then we had the fight against Justin at the Paramount.
Now, how does that prepare you, especially with somebody like a former UFC fighter and Elliot Marshall? Not only that, but professional Elliot Marshall. What's that kind of like? That to kind of give you a checkpoint, kind of give you motivation to kind of get that career going?
Man, it's a whole different level. He has a lot of guys that are still active UFC fighters, from Donald Cerrone to Nate Marquardt. Matt the Immortal Brown was just here this week and for a couple weeks. So I get to train with all those guys, and then having Ellie as a coach, he's already been there. He's come up the same way I have, through the jiu-jitsu first and then into the MMA. So it's nice to have him in my corner and kind of as my head coach, leading my path a little bit. He kind of went through and made all the mistakes, and now he's kind of got it a little more pared down. So. It's been a great experience, and I couldn't be happy doing what I'm doing.
Now, how's the weight cut going down to 170? You have problems with that, or
I don't really have too big of problems. This one I'm a little bit heavier than I have been in the past, but I'm not anticipating any issues. You know, I started it today, and it'll go through tomorrow night. So I'm glad we're getting this interview out of the way right now.
Yeah, you'd be like, yeah, forget you.
Yeah, tomorrow I won't be worth very much for an interview.
Yeah.
Right now I feel fine. So
nice.
170 is not a difficult weight. I actually considered cutting down to 155. Just kind of looking at the guys like Brandon Batch, you know, as a 170 pounder. Like,
they're big boys.
I don't know if I'm gonna fight that way.
And they're pretty quick too.
They're quick and they're big. So, you know, and then, you know, training with Donald Cerrone as one of the top 55ers in the UFC. We're about the same size, so it's like maybe that's eventually we'll be a little bit closer to where I'm at. But for now, you know, I'm just trying to get experience, get my ears wet.
Yeah. Now, as far as like high school or anything like that, did you do wrestling or anything that kind of get you prepared for weight cut, or just pretty much jiu-jitsu?
No, mostly jiu-jitsu tournaments. Yeah, I started cutting weight after I got my blue belt. You know, I wanted to be a little bit more competitive in the bigger tournaments. So I've probably done maybe 10 or 12 weight cuts when I started fighting. So it's not completely new experience, but definitely not like the full high school wrestling career or even collegiate wrestling. So.
Now, what's the road that you would like to take after this? Is there a couple more that maybe you and Professor would want to think about and then turn pro, or what's kind of like the end goal you like to do?
Yeah, I'm definitely not in a hurry to turn pro, but it is one of my plans. You know, it's a goal of mine. I want to make sure that I feel comfortable and have enough experience. You know, so I don't want to rush it, but I also there's no reason to wait once I feel ready. So it's just kind of a fight by fight decision. I anticipate probably 2 or 3 more amateur, and then maybe think about either doing a 155 amateur and go pro, or you know, there's a couple options on the table. Yeah.
Okay. Now, obviously, you got friends, family that are watching this now, and also some of your sponsors. Who's some of the sponsors you'd like to thank?
Definitely Dr. Ben Callen from Action Spine and Sports Medicine. He's helped me tremendously kind of keep the wheels on through all these training camps. So, also the Fuelery is kind of a recovery facility that I use a lot. They have the compression boots, ice baths, some laser treatment, stuff like that, so that helps a lot as well. ATA Dental helped do the mouth guard, you know, the molds for my mouth guard, so definitely a big shout out to Dr. Noah at ATA Dental. Derek Dannenbaum from DD Home Search has been very supportive through my whole fight camp, so definitely want to thank him as well. And then obviously the Easton Training Center and Easton Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, and then the Beetle Bar, which is my after party. So I don't know how much I'll have to go into that.
The floor is yours, buddy. So.
My after party after my fights will be at the Beetle Bar. It's at 3014 on East Colfax. It's a great little spot. Bring your ticket stub for $1 tacos all night, fresh squeezed juices and all the cocktails, and I'll be there hopefully celebrating a big win. So please come on by.
Nice, appreciate it. Well, we thank you very much for your time, and good luck in a couple of nights.
Thank you. Thanks, sir.
Thanks.